Hello everybody. It's a little windy today, so we're gonna make a little video and do another Hartley Trail video. This is a really nice trail in the city of Duluth in Minnesota, and we'll show you the layout. So we are gonna go ahead and head out near the bottom, and we're gonna go all the way up there. So it's probably, I don't know, probably about 4 miles up there and then back. So maybe about 7.5 miles. But we're gonna go ahead and do that. We left the older dog at home, so we got the smaller dog, and he's waiting for the hike. And this is one of the trailheads. And so we're just gonna talk about random things while we're coming up here on a bike. They're coming up pretty quick, so stay close. We got a biker. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Hey, how are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good. So, today is Wednesday, like I said, August 25th, and we are about to do a trail hike. Last week, did a lot of traveling. Went to Two Harbors, went to Betty's Pie, a famous pie place up in Two Harbors, Minnesota, along the north shore, and got, I think, 6 individual slices of pie, and it was pretty good. Made me a little sick. I don't eat a lot of sugar, but I eat more than I should, that's for sure. And we did that. Then we went to Island Lake and Boulder Lake, which is touching each other, and that's about 30 miles north of Duluth, just north of I guess it's Gunnison. I'm probably saying that wrong. So if you're in Gunnison, if it's, I think that's how you pronounce it, but it's up there, not too far. So my dog is he does not want to go. He just wants to do his business on the side of the road. But we're going to start hiking. We've got a bit of a hike, and so yeah, we'll just cover a bunch of different things. I'm new to making content. Just started a YouTube video channel this week, and just we're gonna have fun, just do fun stuff. I mainly like to walk a lot. I don't know if we're gonna stick with that name. I think right now I've got Chad the Walking Man. So last week I did 54,000 steps in a day. I have some videos on that. I'll probably release some of the content later this week. But my dog likes to stop everywhere there's another dog left its trace. He likes to stop and smell. So basically we have this big fire up here. It's called the Greenwood Fire. And I went to a trip, like I said, we went to Betty's Pie in Two Harbors. And then we went to Island Lake and Boulder Lake, and saw the boat landing over off Abbott, and very popular public boat landing. There's usually anywhere between 50 and 60 boats and trailers and trucks and SUVs up there. They take out pontoon boats and fishing boats and little water skiing boats and all kinds of stuff. I think I mentioned in one of my videos I found out. I try to soak up as much info as I can around here since I'm new to the area and don't really know a lot. But this is the #1 state for the most boat owners in the United States. What I read, I mean, don't quote me. I'm just seeing what I've heard. You know, I don't know if those numbers are skewed or if they're a few years old. You know, for all I know, they could be 2 or 3 years old. So they might be #2 or #3 now. But there's a lot of boats here, a lot of boat owners. Just started going to a dog park, and that's fun. I probably don't want to disclose all the details for that place, but started going there a few weeks ago. I stumbled across that little hidden gem with my dad. My father's retired. He's about 79, and he's almost, I think, in about a month or two. And he came up for a few days to visit, and we went out on the Vista Fleet or whatever. I think there's 2 of them. They go around Lake Superior underneath the aerial bridge and out into the St. Louis River. And I think I have a small video of when it froze over in January of me taking the dog out about half mile out onto the St. Louis River, where it's a lot thinner part of water for it to freeze over. Sometimes Lake Superior freezes over, but mainly just around the coastal area. I have a protective retainer on today because I have to make a dentist visit, which is not fun, but you know, check out, see what's going on. So you know, sometimes when you're hiking and you go up steep trails, you kind of gnash your teeth together. That's what I do when I work out. Sometimes I have that tendency to do that when I sleep too, which a lot of adults do, and they grind their teeth down. Now that I'm in my early 50s, I'm seeing that my teeth are getting ground down more and more all the time, so that's no fun. But we want to talk about different things that we did. We did that. We also did Grand Marais, which is beautiful up there. It's like kind of like a cross between Morro Bay and Solvang, and like a coastal, like artsy type, beautiful setting. A lot of people from Canada, Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Dakotas, they all come over and go to a trip up the up the North Shore, and they go to Grand Marais. Grand Marais is beautiful. It's just about 30-40 miles south of Grand Portage, and Grand Portage is one of the most northernest cities. Come on. No, you're not going into the forest. One of the most northernest cities of Minnesota. Grand Portage is where a lot of people go. They park their cars, their trucks, SUVs, and they take a little ferry over to Isle Royale. ISLE space ROYALE Royale. Kind of like the Royale with cheese from Pulp Fiction, which is a great movie. Of course, everyone's seen that. Well, most everyone. If you haven't, check it out. It's an old movie from 25 years ago. But that actually is the #1 least visited national park in the United States. That being that you have to, I think, take like a boat or a ferry there. And now they're not even seeing any visitors there because of the fires. And that's one thing I was just talking about recently that we're going to go into some detail is the fires. So we have these fires that are brewing, and they're called the Greenwood Fires, and they're up near Isabella, Ely, and Finland. And I know there's a large Finnish population that settled here a long time ago. I know they had some sort of, you know, if you're Finnish, don't jump down my throat, but from what I've heard, they had some socialistic views on things, kind of I don't know if that's how things were in the 1800s, maybe because they're close to Russia. But a lot of them settled here. We have a lot of Norwegian people that settled here in northern Minnesota, Scandinavians, a lot of Swedish, Norwegian people, but there's also some Danish, more towards, I want to say, the south east part, I think, of Minnesota. It's more Danish. Um, I think we're going to go to Stillwater, and someone I met last week or a couple weeks ago told me there's a large Tibetan community in Stillwater. So I think my dog, go. So we're going to go ahead and hit the next trail. So this is another trail we're going to hit, and it's a continuation to get to the pond. So, and I don't have any weapons. I don't have any bear spray. I did use some off because I did get a mosquito bite last week, which was rare. Like I said, sorry, I have a retainer piece in my mouth to keep me from filing my teeth down. So I'm going to have a little bit of lisp, and I apologize for that. But I did use some off for the first time since I've been up here. I've been up here for like maybe 9 or 10 months, and I have never had any bugs. I think it's because we've been getting a lot of drought, therefore a lot of fires. And most of these fires are not, from what I read, just found out in the last couple of days, they're not like man-made. They're lightning struck fires. But the Isabella fire that I was mentioning, big step down, that was, I think it's consumed about 22 or 23,000 acres already. And the reason I wanted to talk about that is because we woke up, I was making a fish dinner on Monday, and it kind of, stinks up the house a little bit, so we had the windows open, and we forgot to shut the windows. Well, around 4 or 5 in the morning, we smelled what smelled like the house on fire, and we kind of freaked out, got up, started looking around, went outside, and I don't know if you've ever seen Manifest or the new episode of season 3. I know they're going to release season 4 pretty soon. It's a great show. I'm big into TV and movies. I've seen so many TVs and movie shows. So, but that's a new show I just started watching. I'm halfway through season 3, and I don't want to be a spoiler alert, but there's an ominous cloud. That's all I'll say. And it was similar to that. I'm telling you, it's kind of unfathomable, but the whole sky was covered in smoke, and when you walked out, all you could smell was fire burning, like smoldering fire, smoke everywhere. And I've never experienced that. I lived in about 10 or 12 different states growing up, but the majority of my life I lived in Los Angeles, and I lived overseas in the Middle East for a little while, and I traveled to about 16 or 17, 18 different countries. But I had never experienced, waking up with that. And during the trip to Grand Marais, when I got up there, I think we got up there on Sunday, which would be I want to say the 22nd, 21st, 22nd of August. All you could smell was the smoke in the air. And on my way up there, I had a allergy smoke attack. And I literally sneezed like 20 times in a row without stopping. And I've never sneezed more than 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5 at the most. So that was unique. And my whole upper body just felt like I got clubbed by with a crowbar. I mean, it wasn't, when you lift weights and you're sore, your muscles are sore. This was kind of an internal soreness, and it felt like a stinger all the way from both sides, all the way up to my neck. And it's just now starting to go away. It's only in my right shoulder right now. So come on. I'm having a hard time getting my dog to walk along. But we're going to just keep going. But mid-August to, I think, mid-September up here, really bad for ragweed. And that was one of the reasons I moved. I've been living in Dallas, Texas for the longest time. Probably, I'd say I think I moved there December of '88, and I left twice and lived in Arizona and once in Lexington, Kentucky for a short period of time since 1988. But both of those 2 times I lived in Arizona and the one time I lived in Lexington, both of those stints were for no more than 6 to 8 months. So I kind of call Arizona my second home other than Texas, but my first home being the Los Angeles area. As I lived in Los Angeles for growing up. From we moved there at the end of, I want to say 1975, when I was a little boy, until I graduated high school in '88. And like I said, I lived in other states, but it was for short periods of time because my parents were divorced. And when you're young and they have joint custody, you go from parent to parent. And both my parents have master's degrees and they have had good jobs, but they traveled a lot. So I was shipped back and forth all the time. And here is the tree that is now part of the trail. So I got that in the last video that I posted, and we'll get that in that one too. We just saw about 15 kids. They looked like they were between the ages of 16 and 20 something, but I couldn't tell. I think the older I get, the harder it is for me to tell how young these kids are. I mean, I just know that I'm a bit older than them. I can't tell if they're, I can tell if they're 16 or younger, but between 16 and 24, it's kind of a dicey situation trying to determine how old they are. Each person looks younger than others. So I'm 51. A lot of people say I look like I'm in my 40s. Who knows? Maybe I look like I'm in my late 50s. Who knows? It's all, just a matter of opinion. So we're going to go ahead and go down this trail. And it kind of winds down the hillside. And we're going to head on down. It's a beautiful day. I'd say it's probably 80, 81. And, it doesn't get any hotter than like mid 80s up here. Maybe high 80s. And that's like, hot for them. So I've lived in Dallas since, like I said, end of '88. And I've seen so many changes and growth and you name it, I've seen it. I've lived all over the Metroplex. I've lived in Fort Worth, Arlington, Grand Prairie, Southlake, Grapevine, Garland, Rockwall. Had jobs even way out in past Fate and Quinlan, up into Greenville, and had jobs all the way, just all over. Have a couple college degrees from university in the DFW area, and I've been there for a long time. So, but one of the reasons I left was because of COVID. Not just because of COVID. No, I don't know if I don't think that's a normal fern. Let's stay away. We have not mountain cedar up here, but we have ragweed. And ragweed takes the form of almost like a fern branch. So we're walking through a big fern area. And I'll cover the allergies here in a second, but I was talking about DFW real quick. But yeah, I know a lot about DFW, seen a lot of growth. But one of the reasons I left was because my allergies. I think it was because of the large population, the more pollution, the overwhelming amount of people there. I think I saw a video a few weeks ago saying that the DFW is now up to a population of 7.5 million people. And it is currently the second or third largest metroplex in the United States. And because there's no tax there, It's a great place to live, and there's a lot of jobs in Dallas, and I love Dallas. Don't get me wrong, I love it there. Almost all my friends are there. I don't know anybody up here, so it's kind of awkward. But I moved up here because we wanted to get away from COVID, and this is a relatively safe, really nice outdoorsy place to live. Lots of hiking, lots of outdoor activities. Right on Lake Superior, we get the lake effect. So the breeze takes away most of the allergens. So I came up here, had no allergy problems until about 2 weeks ago. And this is ragweed season up here. And I'm highly allergic to ragweed. Mountain cedar, we don't have any of that up here, thank God. But I hadn't had a sniffle, hadn't had a sneeze, hadn't had anything until about 2 weeks ago. I started sneezing, my nose started running. So if you see me itching my nose a lot, that's because my allergies are acting up. And from what I understand, it's mainly just mid-August till mid-September up here. And, I can't complain. I've been here 9-10 months, and I haven't had one issue whatsoever. Now, it does snow up here a lot. We did get about 5 months of snow, maybe a little bit longer. I think it starts snowing at around Halloween. Halloween is when it starts snowing up here. Sometimes we get a snow the week before Halloween. Sometimes it's the week after. But usually by mid-November, about a week to 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, it's the ground's covered nonstop until probably mid-April. Sometimes even the end of April. So we get a long winter here because we're so far north. Yeah, we're getting this fire now. Okay, this is a trailhead. So you can go 3 ways. This takes you up to the rock. I think it's called Root Canal. And then this one down here, the Meadow Trail, takes you through the meadow, and we'll show you that. It's a beautiful giant meadow. I'd say it's maybe, 20, 30 acres, maybe larger, of a meadow that leads to the pond. So I'm trying to make a video, watch the terrain without tripping, and keep my train of thought going at the same time. And while at the same time keeping my head on a swivel and looking around for people, mountain bikers. We have lots of mountain bikers come through these trails, and sometimes you have no notice. So you got to keep looking around and see what's going on, because, like for right here, as you can see, you can't see around this corner. So if someone's coming on a bike or hikers, they literally can just, hit me, knock me over. Therefore, the protective mouth thing, because you never know. Better be safe than sorry. So, but like I was saying earlier, I don't have any bear spray. I don't have a weapon. So I have my dog, but he's not much of a protection. I'm mainly taking him out for exercise. So, but this is bear season. I'd say the end of June, beginning of June till the end of September, the middle of October is bear season. Now, we are in Duluth, so I think there's 95,000 people here. But, it's kind of a large suburb. I think it's the third or fourth largest city in Minnesota. And it's a big vacation destination. Sorry, we're getting sun in the camera piercing through the woods. But we got a canopy of trees here, so we'll go ahead and walk through these and get a little bit better. But yeah, here comes someone jogging. Go ahead, let them pass. Morning, how are you?
Hi. Nice day. Hi.
So he had some music going. Most of the people up here are friendly. They have a saying up here called Minnesota nice. Most people are pretty nice up here. They got all kinds of sayings that I'm not familiar with, like oofda, Some of the ones are Midwestern sayings like criminetly and for Pete's sake, but most people in the U.S. know those. But most people are pretty nice up here. Kind of like, Texas people used to be really nice in the 80s and 90s, and as more and more people kept coming, it became more and more diverse. More and more people got a little bit more on edge. I noticed the longer I lived there, more and more people got in a hurry. It seemed like everybody had to be somewhere at a certain time, no matter what, and they would, it just became a little bit hectic. With the number of people, like I was saying, I think there's 7.5 million people in the DFW area now. It just got kind of overwhelming. With the COVID coming, a lot of the people where I was staying were not masking up. A lot of my neighbors weren't masking up. I was there for most of 2020, and I was kind of freaking out because I didn't know, the numbers. I didn't know if they were fake numbers, real numbers. I didn't know, living in such a large city, what my risk was. I knew there wasn't going to be vaccines until sometime middle to end of 2021. So I wanted to move somewhere where I could be outdoors, I could lose some weight, and I could do some fun stuff. So that's why I'm up here, because I gained a lot of weight during COVID, and the last year before COVID, I kind of lost a little motivation. I guess when you get older, you kind of lose some motivation to keep working out all the time, because you think, I was an athlete, I think my metabolism continue to burn fat and continue to let me eat whatever I want. That's not the case. When you get into your late 40s, early 50s, you start gaining weight no matter what. So if you have a sedentary lifestyle, you will gain weight like crazy. I gained 30, 40 pounds. Hello. So like I said, you gotta stay off to the side. So when I'm talking, I stay off to the side, because mountain bikers come by and they will knock you over in a heartbeat. So, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna hit this trail here. So let's go ahead and hit the trail. I'm gonna focus on the trail and just talk, because it's a pretty cool winding trail. Come on, stay on the trail. Uh-oh. I think there's someone coming, and there's really nowhere for me to go. It's off the side of the trail is about a 2-foot drop, but we're gonna go ahead and hustle through here, try to get to some firm ground where we can actually get off. Now we're coming up into the meadowland, and this is a bog. So if a biker comes, we could get knocked into the swampy bog, which would not be good. So we are gonna go ahead. It kind of reminds me of like Louisiana. I've been there a couple times, Baton Rouge, but this is not reminding me of Louisiana. This is a beautiful, beautiful meadowland for as far as you can see. Just absolutely picturesque, beautiful. Come on, stay by daddy. So this is the bog underneath us. So you get knocked off, you are in a swampy bog, which is not fun. But one, just to get a picture of how beautiful it is, we're gonna go ahead and get off this trail as quick as we can. It's just absolutely unbelievable how far this meadowland is. I don't know if that's 20, 30, 40, 50 acres or 100 acres, but you can't really go out there. You can hike up to the water pond areas, but a lot of that's got wetland in there. So we're still on the path. We kind of got out of the bog, the meadowland area, and not like the New York meadowlands. This is a wetland area. So we're still on the trail. This is a lot longer of a trail walk than we took on the first video. So it's a little earlier in the day. So we're kind of worked my way up over the last month or so into the walking so I can handle long distances now. So like I was saying, I gained weight when I was about 48, 49, and then 50 when COVID hit. I still, did stuff like, small walks, go up to Lifetime Fitness and do a little swim, do a little weights. But I wasn't doing like high impact, like sweating a whole bunch, resting for an hour, then going back and sweating a whole bunch, doing high impact where you force the weight off of you. I guess I was just kind of get a little tired, like the older you get. And it's kind of hard to do that if you don't have anyone to help you, motivate you. And, there's no excuse, but once you get a little older, you kind of start losing self-motivation. Like, it's a little bit harder than when you're younger and, more desirable. You want to stay super fit to impress people. I guess the older you get, you kind of let yourself slip a little bit. So, and I see a lot of that with people that are married, people that aren't married that, some people, they just have hard time. It's really hard to lose weight, a lot of science that goes behind it. They've got the carnivorous diet. They've got, high protein diet, low carbs, high protein. They say you're supposed to eat whatever your body weight in grams converted to pounds and protein a day. So since I've been outdoors the last 2-3 months since I got vaccinated, I've been keeping my weight under 200, which is great for me. I'm 5'9.5", so to keep it under 200 is great. I'm still overweight. I should be, ideally, I should be about 172 to 179. So the last month I've been doing a lot of higher impact training, lots of walking, intense walking, some swimming, a little bit of weight training, decent amount of protein. I'm not doing anywhere near 200 grams of protein a day like they say you should, because that maintains the muscle mass you have and helps you lose weight. If you eat that protein, that's better than taking protein shakes. So if you have like a high protein like salmon that has a lot of vitamins, minerals in it, and a lot of protein, that's better. So here comes a biker. Come on, off to the side. Hi. Sorry, hi. How are you?
Great.
Nice bike. Thanks. Okay, let's let this family go by. All right. This little family went by. So, but like I was saying, Minnesota nice. It's a thing up here. Most people are pretty nice if you're nice to them, and that's my motto. Just be nice to people, and they should return that. Some people have bad days and they're not nice. Totally understandable. That's happens every day with everybody. But sometimes I've realized that it's not so much Minnesota nice, it's more Minnesota passive aggressive up here. We get that a lot too, where they pretend they're nice, but they're not really nice. But we see a lot of that in Dallas. But it's not so much passive aggressive. There's a lot of nice people, don't get me wrong, but I'll tell you, the roads in the DFW, mainly, right around the Dallas area, are just treacherous nowadays. My aunt and uncle, they have a cousin that lives in Round Rock, Austin. They come down and see her once or twice a year, and when they come through Dallas, every time they keep telling me, Chad, we don't really feel safe coming through Dallas much anymore to visit you. We're still going to come visit you, but we almost run off the road 2, 3, 4, 5 times every time we come visit. We're only here for like a day or two, and they said it just keeps getting worse every year. And it's, you got to be like like a Daytona 500 race car driver to handle the roads there without getting in a wreck. I got in a wreck. I was driving, doing some part-time for extra side hustle, some food deliveries for about a year and a half. And I had never done that before, so I did it with a couple different companies, won't name them. But I got hit head on by a huge old truck, and it jacked me up. I'm still a little jacked up from it, but I had to get an epidural. I had to see a chiropractor for, I don't know, 40, 50 times, and I'm a little bit better now. The key is to be active, reduce your back pain. The more active you are, the easier it is to keep your weight off. The more you keep your weight off, the easier it is on your back. So even if you don't have the time to go for walks, to go to the gym, say you're stuck work at home, whatever, just get up, do stuff around the house as much as you can. Do laundry, clean up, vacuum, do different random things, And I'm no expert on anything. I just kind of know a little bit of a lot of different things. So that's why I decided I'd make a YouTube video. I'm not working right now, and I thought I'd make a few videos each week. And I know it takes like 3, 4, 5 years to build a channel. And you got to have a certain content that you focus on. I really don't have a certain specific field. I'd like to talk about things, the economy, housing, the great outdoors, fun things to do outside, cryptocurrencies, assets, the market, the housing market, if it's going to crash, the inflation going on, just all kinds of stuff. You go to the store, everything costs about $2 more, and you're getting about 2 ounces less right now. Gas, depending where you are. I know California's outrageous for gas. I heard it's $5, sometimes $5.20, $5.30 some places. We got up to $3.20 here in this area, but there's a lot of places, if you know where to go in Duluth, that are $2.96 to $2.99, which is unbelievable. I mean, the day and time that we live in right now. I'm sure there's a lot of rural places, North Carolina, Indiana, Illinois, some rural places, Michigan, where you're going to see, maybe 280, 275, 290. I'm sure that's going to be common in your neck of the town. The bigger cities, if you're watching this from another bigger city, like DC, Miami, probably Texas is pretty cheap so far. Everything in there is pretty affordable. But, LA, San Francisco, I don't know, maybe even Portland, some of the bigger cities, some of them are kind of expensive. So we're gonna wait for a little guy. He's found something. Hey, how are you?
Hey, puppy.
So, hello. So we're hiking up the hill, and we're running into people. Usually, every 1,000 to 2,000 yards, we run into people. Try not to film them. So, because you want to. I think you have to get people's permission to be filmed if they're on a video. So this is a pretty long video. I'm not really sure which way to go. So it looks like we are here. Oh, okay. So I think we have to go this way to get to the pond. So I've only been up here twice. Okay, that's to the wet meadow. So that's where we came. So we're gonna go this way. They both say to the pines. So we're gonna try this route, and hope we don't get lost. I might cut this video short here in a minute because this is a 40-minute video. I appreciate you guys watching. I don't have any subscribers. I don't have any views yet. So maybe we'll get some this week. Maybe we'll get some subscribers over the next week or 2 or 3 weeks. Who knows? This one right here. These trees are probably, 150 feet tall. They're pretty massive. So this is a patch of just trees. I think further down there's a patch like this where some people have made huts out of the trees. So you got to keep your eyes open for people, bikers. A lot of mountain bikers. There's certain areas up here where it's lots of rocks, but they ride these giant mountain bikes with these huge tires up and down here, and it's a lot of fun. But if I get, I'm thinking of doing it, but if I get a bike, I want to get the proper protection: helmet, pads, knee, wrist, because if you endo on some of these rocks, you lose all your teeth, you get your face bashed in, you could really do some serious damage. So, and I don't know if the rush is worth, and it's not like a surfing rush or skydiving or bungee, snowboarding. I don't think it's the same, but for some people it's more of a rush than something like that. So I have some snow shoes that are good for winter exercise. And I have some surfboards and wetsuits, but I haven't used those because I grew up in Los Angeles. So I lived in Malibu for a while, and went to high school at a beach city, and lived in Marina Del Rey. So, hi. So we get a lot of really fit people up here on the trails. Everybody that's come by me so far is super duper fit. Okay, so that's the rock knob. That takes you up to the rock. There's this huge rock up at the top. And then this takes me to the pines. We're gonna go to the pines because I think that'll take me to the Hartley Trail, the Hartley Pond. So we're going to cut this video short right at about 44 minutes. And we'll start up a new video getting to the pond. And then we'll take the dog off the leash, let him run around at the pond, and enjoy the nice, sunny, fun day. Getting right to the thick of the woods where they build the forts. And we'll come back, we'll talk about other stuff. You guys have a good remainder of your morning. We'll come back in about 10-15 minutes.